Are you here? It's Thursday. It's Friday Eve. It's the eve of the weekend. We love weekends, right? Why? Why do we love weekends so much? I don't know. I know that I do. All right, let me see if I've pulled it up yet. Not yet. Not yet, but it's a-coming. I know it is. Is anybody here? So once again, if you will please type something in. Doesn't even matter if you just say nothing. Just type something in, then I know who you are. Okay, I'll wait a minute because it hasn't pulled up yet. It is 5 o'clock. Mavis! Mavis was the first one to say hi. That's all you have to do is just say hi. And then I know you're here, and I like that. And we have Betty from Alabama. Hello, Betty. How is your weather today? Weather, we can talk about weather. The wind has not blown hard enough yet to get all the leaves off my trees. I tell you, and I have a lot of leaves. I have a lot of trees. I have a lot of leaves on the ground too. But you know, they'll kill the grass if I leave them there when the snow hits. So I'm trying to get them off. I want to get them off. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hey, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. I really am. Oh, excuse me. I've been cleaning today, so there's lots of dust. I hate that. Hey, Alice. Alice said she's got a sunny, cool day, and Betty in Alabama said it's hot. It's 75 degrees. Well, that's really not hot, you know. 80, 90, 90's hot, 100's hot. Alice just got home from donating blood. She got her gallon pin. Wow, that's a lot of blood. I used to give blood all the time. Thank you, Alice. Hey, Karen. I needed that blessing. Let me tell you, like I said, I've been cleaning. I have thrown away stuff. I have thought, what is this? It's crazy. I haven't thrown nearly enough away, but I'm getting just a couple of shelves is all I did. Remember when I used to say you got to clean something every day? You got to create and clean. Every single day, you've got to do those two things, right? And then do something for yourself. And doing something for yourself, oftentimes it does something for somebody else. Yep. So I am very happy to be here today. Got so many things I want to talk to you about. This is normally our demo day where we just chit chat and we talk about things that maybe you want to talk about. Hi, Valerie. Valerie, we've missed you. We always catch you at the bad time because it's midnight in the UK right now for dear Valerie, and she's still up. I did want to talk about a few things. Actually, should I give you my fun facts first? I have 2 animal-related fun facts and 2 human-related. And I found a book while I was cleaning today, and it was tidbits of stuff why you need to know those tidbits. I didn't even read half of them. Not even, I mean, I probably read a couple of pages when they were short. I just, all those little tidbits, and it's a whole thick book. And I think, why do I have this? I'm going to give it to my son. He will enjoy it. He will appreciate that. Hey, Patty said she worked on her pumpkin pile today. Hey, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Debbie Johnson is in Wisconsin. You're from Florida. What are you doing in Wisconsin? You must be traveling and just loving it, right? Because it's not so hot. Well, this morning, when I first got up, I came to the east and took some pictures out the window. And there were snow flurries coming down. In the picture I posted on Facebook, you can't see the snow flurries. I think you can kind of see there's something in the air. But the mountains that aren't even very far away from us, not even a mile, you couldn't see them because the cloud cover was so low because they're getting a little dusting of snow up there. And we were getting a little dusting. And then I went to the windows and looked west, and those mountains are probably 11 or 12 miles away. I don't really know. I've never driven straight over there. I'm always going different ways to get over there. They are pretty well covered with snow. And it's exciting, but I don't want it to come in the valley. But it's going to, so I just have to say, yes, I love this, right? Oh, Debbie said she's at a quilt retreat in Iowa sponsored by Off the Rails Quilting. How fun! I have never gone to a quilt retreat where I've actually quilted or pieced or anything. I go and I just want to watch everybody. I don't know. I need to have concentration. And so when we have these classes and we do a Zoom class, if I were you out there watching this class here, I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd just be watching. And then I would go back. It's almost like you have to take the whole picture in first, and then I can break it down and do the little pieces. That's how I am. So I admire all of you that can do a Zoom class and actually accomplish something. Carol is in Florida. How's your weather, Carol? Annette is here. And Joanne. And there's lots of others that I can't tell your name because you have to say something, or it just tells me user, user, user. Are you using me? No. Anyway, Debbie said she completed 4 easy quilt tops. Good for you. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, so I have 2 fun facts, animal related. I'm going to give you those first. Carol says it's warm where she is. Carol is in Florida. Well, our weather is changing, and they're telling us more snow this weekend. Well, rain for us down to a certain point, and up there it's going to be snow. But I'm waiting for that wind to blow the leaves off the trees so we can rake them Saturday. Got to get these leaves off the ground. I have so many. All right. Did you know that in 1859, I want you to compare. Do you want to have rabbits or rats? I thought rabbits were the big one that exploded, but listen to this. In 1859, 24 rabbits were released in Australia, and within 6 years, the population grew to 2 million. My son has rabbits, or he had rabbits, and I guess they have more than one uterus because this bunny had 2 batches of 12 litters within about 2 weeks of each other. And as I understand, they do have 2 uteruses. Crazy. So rabbits, we always know that, the rabbits, there's lots of them. Here's one about rats. Did you know that 2 rats in an ideal environment can turn into 482 million rats over 3 years? So that tells me that rats can populate a lot faster than rabbits. So we don't want rats. My son that has the rabbits, he also has some rats. Can you imagine? I love bunnies. I don't want one, but I love them. I don't like rats. I don't even love them. I don't even want to be around them. All right, let's see if I can pull this one up. Hey, Joanne from Texas. Hey, this is your first time live. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Okay, these next 2 that I have, they're about people. Let me see if I can bring it up. There we go. I thought this was interesting. Humans are born with 2 fears, only 2 fears. The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear that we have is learned. How about that? How about that? Well, you know that babies don't like loud noises and they don't like to fall because they're always, grabbing their arms and things. Kind of interesting. All right, and this one, and we all feel this. This happens to all of us, but there is actual scientific proof. Did you know that when you get a feeling that you are being watched, you probably are? Our brains have a primal gaze detection system that can detect when someone is looking at you or slightly to the right or to the left of us. So all those times where you thought, oh, someone's watching me, or even in a crowd. Have you ever been driving down the road and if I were stopped at a stoplight and the cars were turning in front of me, making a left-hand turn in front of me, is that so weird? You are 20, 30 feet away from that guy in that car, and yet the second your eyes make contact. How? It's just one little dot right there, and you can instantly tell that you've made eye contact. Is that so weird? I think it's weird. Maybe I just think things are weird. Okay, Norma, what's creepy? And I'm gonna share something, paraphrasing what one of you shared on Facebook today, and I've read it before, but still, it makes me think. It makes me want to be excited. Well, actually, I woke up this morning. I must have had some great dreams because I was so excited for the day. And sometimes you get up and think, okay, what's on my list? What have I got to get done today, right? Well, this morning, I just knew today was going to be a great day. I mean, it was easy to look in the mirror and say, wow, look at you. You are amazing, right? We've talked about that. All right, so this this young girl, would always carry a fork with her. And someone asked her, well, why do you have that fork? And she said, my grandma always said, when you go to socials, when you go to like potluck dinners or family gatherings and they start gathering up the dishes, keep your fork. Have you heard that? Keep your fork. And she'd always lean over to her granddaughter and say, keep your fork, the best is yet to come. Well, that's kind of how I felt this morning. Keep your fork, the best is yet to come. Today is a great day. And the whole story behind the keep your fork is what the grandma said to the granddaughter. Keep your fork because the best is yet to come. So when you're eating your salad, keep your fork because the entree is coming. And when you finish your entree, keep your fork because dessert is coming, and that's always good. So this girl, when she died, the pastor was talking about it, and people noticed that when they'd walk by the casket, she had a fork in her hand. And this was that young girl who always said, keep your fork. And people say, why has she got a fork? And so that gave him the opportunity at the stand to say, yep, the best is yet to come because she's gone on to bigger and better things. She had her fork. Isn't that kind of a cool thought? All right, maybe it was just a cool thought for me. Yep, so you've probably read that story, Alice. I just paraphrased it, so no doubt I made it up. Okay, so I want to cover one more thing before we get into our demo today. Several people, because we just finished a Zoom class. This was the class we just finished. And thank you so much for posting your pictures. I have loved it. And many more have talked to me and said, yep, I'm going to go in and watch it today because I wasn't able to attend. I totally love this project. I just love it. I think it is so fun. I love having this hang in my house. I've got 2 of them now. I really love it. But they asked, well, how do I get to the recorded class? Because they weren't able to be there. So every time you purchase a class, you'll get a welcome letter like instantly. And when you get that welcome letter, it has the link on there of, if it's a live class, it will have the Zoom link. If it's not a live class, it will have the recorded link. But every time it will have a file. And in that file is where you'll find the pattern, and you'll actually find another copy of the welcome letter, and if there's templates involved, but that's where you'll find the recorded class. So if you watch the class live and you want to go back and watch it again, this Zoom, or this recorded, it's not the Zoom anymore, the recorded class is going to be in the same file where you got your pattern. If you are not able to watch, then the recorded class will still be in that file. Just go to where you got your pattern and it's going to be there. And if you have any trouble at all, email me because I'll help you, okay? Because I do have access to all of those things. And this is the class we have coming up. I love this so much. I know that I did a different bag class a few weeks ago that was oriented this way and had the opening up here, and that's been my go-to bag for years. And then I thought, oh, I want it to be sideways, and I want it to hang on. Let me put it on. I want it to hang a little differently. So the other bag hangs lower. This one does not hang low. It can if I want it to, because I can adjust the strap, but I like it right there. So when I get in the car, I put my seatbelt on, I still have access to my phone. When I've got my jacket on, it's not banging around in my front of my legs. It is just right in the right place. Okay, this class is coming up. It's a live class. In fact, right after here, I will post a link to this class. It's called It's in the Bag. And this is my new favorite bag. Let me tell you why. First of all, I got this space in here to stick my phone. I have a snap right here with a pocket. And that's where I will stick like receipts or things I need to have easy access to that I'm not going to keep in here permanently. And then I have this pocket right here. A lot of zippers again. This is where I keep my driver's license and my credit card I use all the time, so I can have easy access to it. And back here, I have like my Sam's Club card or my rewards cards for different restaurants we go to, or the credit card is my backup credit card. All those things you got to have. I also have a little cash in there. That's the stuff I keep there. But in the night last night, so if you've already bought this class, know that this is coming before the class starts. In the night last night, I thought, I need one more pocket. So I'm going to write an option for this bag where I'm going to put a small zipper pocket on the inside. And that's where I put things that I never need. But I got to carry them with me just in case, right? And I don't want to have them up here, and I don't want to have them back in here. It might be where I put my cash, because I don't use cash that much anymore. I just flip my card out. But I'm going to put a pocket in here. I haven't decided several different ways I could do it, but I haven't done it yet. So when I teach the class that day in the Zoom class, I will teach how to put that pocket in. And I will also make an addendum to the pattern. I don't want to put it in the pattern because that one stands alone as it is. But I will put an addendum, an optional thing that you can do if you want to put another pocket in. Can you ever have too many pockets? I can't. Never. I would be wearing those cargo pants everywhere I went because I like to have a pocket to put everything in. I don't like to carry anything. I like my hands free all the time. But I got to have pockets because I carry stuff. I got my chapstick. I got tissues. I got mints. I have my credit card, my driver's license, my phone. I have all those things I have to carry. And floss. I mean, do you need floss? Sometimes you do, right? So that's why I'm putting another pocket in. That's all. It's going to be a bonus. There's no charge for that extra pocket. I'm checking to see if... Mindy, you made it from Whispering Pines. Don't you love that name? Joanne said, thanks for sharing that story. It's always a good reminder. It is a good reminder. And I'm going to remember that. I mean, there are just so many good stories. I could get lost on Facebook half the time because there are so many fun, good things that are shared. And so I don't usually have time to read everything because I'm just on there for a minute in the morning and then in the day sometime and then in the evening. But I don't spend a lot of time on there, but I will save things. I'll save a link and I think I'll get back to that one day. Well, I don't get back to it very often, but sometimes if I'm sitting like in the doctor's office waiting, then I have time to go in and either read some of those things or delete them. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's what I do. All right. Thank you, Debbie. I do love this wall hanging. And we do have another wall hanging coming up. Now this one right here, this class, I didn't mention the day on this. The live class is going to be on November 7th. And we will have a prep class on November 3rd. And just like I did with the pumpkin pile, I'm just going to talk to you about things that you need to have ready to go before the class. Because if you want to sew with me, like I said, that's hard for me to do. But if you want to sew with me, then there are certain things that need to be done first. Otherwise, the class will take all day long. And I want to point out another thing that I love about this purse. You look at those heavy-duty straps right there. This has a strapping on the inside. It's covered with fabric. But as you can see right there, that is really a strong connection on both sides, which I thought was pretty cool. And if you've never done a zipper before, don't be afraid. This does have 1, 2, 3, 3 is going to have 4 zippers because I'm going to put another zipper on the inside. So it's got 4 zippers. Don't be afraid. They're not hard. And I think you'll really end up liking them. Okay, any questions, comments before we get started? If you will please say hi, then I'll know who you are and that you've been here. Otherwise, I don't even know you've been here. And we're just all hanging out, right? Yes, we are. Okay, the thing I wanted to talk about today, did you have any questions? Because I'm thinking, I feel like I've left something out that I needed to talk about. But I'm not coming up with it. So if you have something, please put it in the comments. And I will go back and read the comments later today, and I will answer everything. So if you've got a question and maybe you're watching this later, please ask your questions. Make your comments. I do want to know, okay? All right. I am going to go right to my machine. So right here, let me go out of there. It was asked me how... Oh, Celeste. Hey, I think, Celeste, you were the one that asked me about this. What time is the bag class? It'll be at 10 o'clock in the morning, Valerie. So it'll be at 10 o'clock on the 7th, and it's also going to be 10 o'clock on the 3rd. And now on the 3rd, it will just be right here on Facebook, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it probably won't last a half hour. It's just merely telling you the things you need to know before class starts. Now, even though I did that with the pumpkin pile, when I got to the class, I still reviewed all the things that you need to have done. But reviewing them that day doesn't give you time to have them done. So that's why beforehand, I'm going to do a little prep class on Facebook. That means anybody can come. You don't have to sign up for it. It's just going to be here. In fact, if you don't watch it till Monday night, that's okay too. The class is on Tuesday on the 7th. Nope, excuse me, class is, yep, it is on Tuesday. All right, so it is on Tuesday. So it won't really matter even if you watch the prep. It'll just make you so that you're more prepared for the class on the 7th. And then on the 7th, it is a Zoom link. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning, and that Zoom link is in your welcome letter. So make sure that you try the Zoom link out beforehand. And I know that, and it'll give me a notification that you have logged in, even a day before, 2 days before. It shows me that you're able to log in. Because if you wait until the class starts, I can't help you. But oftentimes I can help you iron out and figure out if that link is not working for you. We'll find out what's going on, okay? Oh, Rhonda from Arkansas is here. How long will the class last, Valerie? The pumpkin pile lasted about 2.5 hours, and I'm expecting that this one will be about the same. It's really not a difficult bag to make, but there are a lot of steps to it. And I think the thing that's going to be most difficult, and I know a lot of you have done the magnetic snaps before. I love them. And it's hard to put down on paper exactly how to position that, which is why this has to be a live class so that you can see how this is put together. It's not going to take a long time. It really isn't. And it's not a hard bag, but I tell you, it's my favorite. And the hard part is now what fabrics am I going to use for the next one? Because I love it so much. Like Alice asked me to show her this the other day, Alice Jackson, and I couldn't because it was in my car. Because I leave it in my car because I just grab it. When I'm in the car, it's there. I don't have to worry about it. It's there. So I have it with me today. All right, let's go to our demo. All right, so for today, and I think it was Celeste that did ask if I'd go over this, we're going to talk about the guide beam on the Solaris. Now, your guide beam will be the same, just in a little different way on your Destiny and Altair. But this one is probably the most involved one. The Destiny is just merely a button down here you push, and you can adjust the width, length, and all that stuff down. Well, actually, you can't adjust the length on the Destiny. But on the Solaris, you can actually adjust the length of the guide beam. Okay, we're going to get into that right now. So right up here is the guide beam icon. So I'm going to touch that. And I wish, because I can see, you can see my screen over here, And you also probably notice as soon as I touch that, let me turn that off. I'm going to go back in and turn it off. All right, over here, because of the lighting, because the machine lighting is so strong, and in order for you to see this screen, you're not going to be able to see really what's going on over here. So I'll explain to you what's going on, and I hope that you'll look at your machine and understand how these two things coordinate. So I'm going to touch the icon, and when I touch the icon, it is going to make a square come up over here, and you'll be able to see that. You just won't be able to see what's inside of it. Come on. There. See how this square popped up? You won't be able to see what I've got inside there, but I'm going to explain what's in there. All right, so guideline, when I touch that, it's going to automatically turn that to on. So you can see that on is in blue, and I'm going to be in the main one. And that right here, you can see I've got a red guide marker, and there is my machine stitch. Now, I could also make that in green if I wanted to. You can't see it so well on this screen with the camera, but that would make it green. But I'm going to leave it on. Okay, I'm going to have to bring this closer to me so I can have it in front of me. Come on, girl. Hang on just a sec. I also have the grid on here, and I don't want to have that on for just a minute. All right, so right here, I have my red line up, and you can see that it's on to left of my stitched line. And that's where that may be where I want it to be. I can move it around. So right here, the arrows right on this part, they go this way. They're pointing up and down. That means, let me move that around a little bit so you can see it better. This line right here means I can make it longer or shorter. Look at that. Do you see how that's changing? An easier way to do that is I've got long, medium, and short. Well, if I'm going to have a guide beam, I'm not going to have it short. I want that as long as I can have it. So I'm always going to go for the long. I'm always going to opt for that one. And now right here, this one shows the arrows going out. That means that I can move that guide beam where I want it to be. And notice each time it's going to go a millimeter. And there I go. I can have that line up with my stitch. I can have it a 1/4 inch to the right or a 1/4 inch to the left. I can even get a span of a 1/2 inch if I wanted to. Because of course I can move my needle around too. But the nice thing about it is, there it is, it's bright red. I can see it without even a problem. Now this guy right here, there's another button. I'm going to touch that one and show you what happens. It pops it on the other side. Equal distance on the other side. So you can have it either way you want. So the advantage to having that guide beam is if you're doing half square triangles, and you know how you have to draw a pencil line from corner to corner so that you can stitch a 1/4 inch on either side of that line, and then you've got 2 half square triangles. This eliminates that need for making a mark on your triangles. You can just line that up from point to point and stitch a 1/4 inch away from it. And there you have it. Now over here, and this is the part you cannot see, is that I've got a red line going right there along my fabric. And I wish so much you could see it, but please get your machine out and look at that line. So it is right there. Now when I move it, and you can see it moving on the screen here, you can also see it moving over there. And with the long, medium, and short, you're going to see how it's going to change over here. Exactly what you've got on the screen right here. All right, one thing I really want to show you that I think is really pretty cool is that I'm going to go to my subline. Now the one that I like to use the most if I'm trying to position something perfectly is going to be this grid mark right there. I could also have my subline be in a different color if I'd want, and I would want it, but like I say, you're not going to be able to see that on this screen right here. But I can see it very definitely over here on my fabric. I can see that subline moving around, and I want to have it a different color than my guide beam, because if it's the same color, I'm not going to know which one it is. And all that is going to help me line things up and position them. All right, so I've got the grid. I love the grid. Now the grid size, if you'll notice on your fabric over here, I can make them 1-inch squares, and I can make them clear down to a 1/4-inch square. And I love to be being able to use the grid line. Now right here is another one that, say I need to position something into a corner. I've got this little guy right here. I can make this into a 90-degree angle. I can go into clear down to a 45, and it's actually showing me up right over here that I have this on an angle. And I really like to use that one. If you're really trying to position things, and maybe you've got a stripe that you need to sew just next to it, but maybe it's too difficult for you to keep that foot right where it needs to be, the guide beam is going to help you. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to turn that off. When I turn it off, it makes it disappear over here. I can go back to my main. And now I can turn that guide beam off up there and close it. And this works for any stitch you're in. You don't have to be in a straight stitch. It will do the same thing. All the same things that I've talked to you about are all going to work with whatever stitch you might have coming up. And the nice thing about this too is if maybe I'm doing a serpentine stitch. There we go, right down there. And maybe that's difficult for me to keep it lined up and keep it straight with my fabric. And maybe I'm starting to go crooked and I don't want to. And maybe I'm trying to follow a seam and I just can't quite follow that seam. Or I don't know where it's going to be bouncing around with that serpentine stitch. If I line up my guide beam, then I know that that serpentine stitch is going to be straight. Relatively. I mean, it's a good wobbly line, but it's going to be straight compared to where it needs to be. All right, do you have any questions on that? Because that's really what the guide beam does. It's amazing. And I love the fact that on the Solars that you have the grid, that you have the angle if you really want it. And having the subline makes it so you can line anything you want up. And it's going to be beautiful. Anything. Have you guys used that enough that you have some experience with it? Do you have any tips, tricks, or suggestions with how you've used it before? You guys are really quiet today. Say something, okay? Let me hear you. Where was the angle icon on the screen? Okay, so it's not going to show up. Let's go back over there. We're going to go to the sub, and I'm going to go to the angle right there. And I can see it over here on my fabric. I can't see it right here. It's not going to show up right here. But I can have it either be red, or I can have it green, or I can have it white. I don't know why I'd want it white unless I were sewing on black fabric. But right over here on the screen, and I don't think there's a way that I can make it show up down here. Let me see if I can. I don't know that I can pull it in close enough. You cannot see it. It's right there on my fabric. I am so sorry. It is not going to show up here. It's going to show up down here on my fabric, and I can see it. Yep, it's in the sub. So right there in the sub one is where you'll find the grid, which I hope you use that grid. I hope you love that grid because that is just a fun thing to have over here where you can actually see it. And then the main one is just the regular guide beam. And Celeste says, so if I want to join binding strips, this is how I would get the angle beam to show. If you're doing binding strips, you probably will just use the regular guide beam. Just this one right here. That will take you from corner to corner. I don't think you will need to have the sub on at that point. But it might help you position. If that helps you, then go for it. And Alice says she uses guide beam all the time. Debbie said she loves the guide beam. It's a game changer. It really is. That's what really sold me on my first crescendo. Well, that and the needle threader. All they had to say was the guide beam and the needle threader, and I was gone. I love them. And now they've just bumped it up on this machine with the grid and the subline, which really makes a huge difference when you're trying to line things up. I love it. And I'm glad to hear that so many of you are using your Solaris for sewing and not just embroidery. In fact, the text will tell us, Doug Thompson will tell you, that you do need to switch out your machine and use it for sewing on occasion. If you never use it for sewing, do it, because it helps all of those gears keep working. Otherwise, you don't want to have it to be a dedicated embroidery machine. You've got to be able to use it for sewing. And when you go back and forth, that keeps everything functioning. It's like if I just did curls with my left arm, never with my right arm, my left arm would get strung, my right arm would not. So you want to make sure that you are exercising all of the wonderful things that this machine will do. Make sure you sew and embroider. Don't just do one or the other. Mindy says, I haven't used the guide beam very much, but I'd like to. Well, then you need to do it. I tell you, it's amazing. All right, does anybody have any questions, comments, or close your eyes and take a little nap for a minute? That's blinking. That's our 1 second nap, right? That's what they said. See, there you go, Celeste. Sewing features are new to you since you usually use the embroidery. Exactly. People, they start embroidering, they love it. Well, I don't blame you. I love it too. But I sew more than I embroider. I will admit that. So mine gets a lot of sewing done, and I do a lot of embroidery too, but I do more sewing than I do embroidery. But, you know, once you get in that embroidery mode, you just think, well, I'm not going to go back. Well, you got to. You got to exercise those muscles inside your machine. So Celeste, get in there and do it, okay? All right. What else can I tell you today? I can't think of anything else I need to tell you. Other than that, the sun will come up tomorrow. It will. It's going to be a great day. Get lots of sleep and know that you are amazing. And clean something, all right? Got to clean something every day. Yeah, Alice says she uses the guide beam when sewing and binding strips together. That's good. That's a good time to use it. All right. I can't think of anything else I want to remind you about, except I want to remind you to get signed up for this class. And if you haven't signed up for this class and you still want to do it, because fall is here now and it's going to be gone. And then we're going to be thinking about Christmas. So now's the time to hang this up. Get it up there, right? And thank you to all of you who were in the class that day and those that have been posting and asking questions about it since, because I love these projects. I really do. Mindy says she has to clean tomorrow for company on Saturday. She must be having another big deer hunt, right? All right. I guess, let's see. Monday, let me double check. Monday is the 30th, which means we have a project on the 10s. And we are going, I've already got it ready to go. It's another fall project. And I hope that you will be here for that. And there will be a pattern for it and a template that will be offered in the Facebook group. And then after that, we have Buddy Chat again next Thursday. It's going to be a very full week. Oh, all right. I didn't bring up another thing. And several of you have already been doing it. But if you have done any classes with me, post a picture of them and tag me in it, because I'm going to do a drawing next week. You have until Halloween night, midnight Halloween night, to post your pictures. Thank you, Alice and Heidi, and was it Mindy? So many of you have been posting pictures, and I have loved every one of it. And even on your personal pages, I appreciate your posting them there. I do. I think that is just fun. And and Debbie said she'll be home on the 30th. Yeah, that will be Project on the 10s. Oh, wow. Mindy says her husband is deer hunting at the Grand Canyon. Wow, I didn't know they deer hunted there. That's kind of cool. That is very cool. Anyway, so if you will post your pictures, if you've taken any class from me, just take a picture of what you made, post it on this buddy's page, and post it on your personal page. And I'm going to put all the names into a drawing, and I'm going to draw a prize. And that person will get a prize. And I will show you what that's going to be. I'm so excited to share that with you. And I'm so excited that you have taken there. We have had a lot of classes that we have done, and I'm so appreciative of all of you that have taken advantage of those classes. I love it. I love it. All right, I will see you on Monday morning, and have a great weekend. I know that there's a lot of Halloween festivities going on this weekend, at least there is in my neighborhood. And we are just going to have fun, enjoy the cooler weather, and just enjoy your families and clean something, right? And then look in that mirror and say, you are amazing, because you are. Look at all the things you can do. And I love it. All right, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.